We've got a very quick drill here, which is why I like it, that close range, high speed blasting. I'll make a couple examples for you. Okay, so I gave you 3 examples. I think the first one is the one we like the best. What did you notice from my posture or demeanor while I was shooting that? Yeah, I looked nice and relaxed. And what I was doing was shooting, flipping between predictive shooting and reactive shooting. So shooting just a flash of red on the lower A zones and dot press on the upper A zones. That's the point of this exercise. We want you to be able to flip around the target order, and no matter what, it's like you're giving the target what it deserves. And the normal 2 modes you have is color confirmation, shooting about as fast as you can pull the trigger, or shooting at the pace that the sight returns, dot press. That's what we want. The next example I gave you is what people often do, is where I just shot one pace or like one way the whole time. A lot of people, they look at the closer targets, like we're using the lower A zone here as like a proxy for a closer, easier target. People view that as easy. That's what they think in their head, that's easy. And I would view that as it's immediate or it's fast, where it's like as soon as I see a flash of red on it, I want to get on the trigger. It's not that it's easier, it's going to be happening way faster. So in that sense, it's harder. Does that make sense to everybody? So you want to think about it that way. It's like red, smash. The third example I gave, like you saw that tension come in, and this is like with close range, high speed shooting, you see that kind of tension a lot. Typical error, tense up your dominant hand and we push these shots down low. We will see a lot of that on this drill. Make sense to everybody? I mean, this isn't super complicated. We're just shooting the 4 A zones. I demonstrated like a crisscross order, lower left, upper right, lower right, upper left. You can shoot any order you want. I think making it harder makes it more interesting. Yeah, where you're always flipping. Are you going to be able to process flipping between reactive and predictive on the fly when you're shooting for score? No, it has to be unconscious. It has to be ingrained that you're giving the target exactly what it deserves. So there's a couple notes here also about accountability. In a match, we'd score like, I think a lot of you would not have a problem with these hits on the head if it was in a match, right? You can be honest. I don't think you'd have a problem with it. For training here, we're going to try to put them in the upper A zone, the credit card. I want you to make sure you drive your eye. The top of the credit card's a pretty convenient spot as just something to look at. I see my dot right there. We have an offset and they'll drop into the credit card right where we want them. So again, like I'm going to look to a spot that I need to look to put the bullets where they need to go. It's just, when you have this distance and this small of a target area, we have to consider the offset. All right. The other thing here that'll be super common is a bunch of hits streaking down here on the lower A zones. If you're shooting between them, what do you reckon that is? Yeah, it's like you want to get going and shooting fast, exactly, and you just look at brown instead of picking out a spot. Pretty simple drill here. It's just, I like to set this one up for practice because it's efficient to set it up. It's easy. You're shooting it at close range, so the feedback's really immediate, but it's not easy to do it well. Okay, let's go next door. I'll show you the other one.